Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, welcome back to our game night. Game time? What do I call this? Old Double Game Time. We're playing Conquest of Nations. We're in season 2, what I like to call season 2, because we had a clean break on our previous games. And damn, it's been a minute since we've been on. Let me get our dashboard up for the games. There's one thing I want to give you before I left for vacation. I promised I would give you the victory screen for France because that was the 4x speed game that I figured we would be winning. And the one reason I have not brought that game into archive is because I wanted to share with you the result of that game, which one is this? Of 62, I believe. We will share the audio. I'm going to close that screen there, come back to here. Dum. So what we're doing is we're playing Conflict of Nations. It's a World War game, World War strategy game. And I played a 4x speed game where I was France. And I told y'all that this game would likely be wrapped up in just a few weeks, a few days, really. And it was. It went, ba-bam, victory. We achieved victory in 42 days, which means this was wrapped up in 10 and a half days, 10 and a half real world days. This one was wrapped up. Our coalition won. I was attacking in, where was I attacking in? All across the east coast of Asia when the game was wrapped up, taking out Indonesia and Indonesian positions so that all 5 of our coalition members could take top 5 places. And that's exactly what happened. All 5 of our coalition members took the top 5 places in the game. Sort by victory points. Thank you. Germany, South Africa, Poland, France, and Norway. We were the top 5. We finished the game. Now I can go put this game into archive, and that is what I will do. But that is far from the exciting stuff. As if you may recall, and you may not, but if you may recall, we had 2 other games that we were running at the same time. I was in Austria in Europe in a world map game, and I am playing Virginia in the North America map game that we are also working on. And things have progressed. Let's kick it off with the 060, I think is the one I'm looking for. Let's kick it off with the Austrian map. So I go on vacation. I ended up going inactive in this map. You note we start the scene. I'm not in Austria right now. I'm in Africa. All of my Austrian territory is in Africa. This is Morocco and Algeria. That's where we're located. And if we wander up over here into where Austria is supposed to be, I'm not in Austria anymore. My compatriots had one job when I was on vacation: take out Russia and establish a border. What they ended up doing was getting their asses kicked by Russia. Indonesia swarmed through Turkey, and then that opened the door for China to just open up a whole big old can of whoop ass all the way through Central. So I mean, they basically had one job and did none of them. However, and this was a pleasant surprise for me when I checked back in on the game. However, a couple weeks ago, last time I was talking about the asymmetrical risk and castle defense. Well, I failed on the castle defense portion of that strategy. My entire central infrastructure was gone. All of my cities are gone. Everything on the continent is gone, just gone. However, let's zoom in down here to Africa. I had my entire army down here in Africa. I had all of my ground forces, all of my tanks, all of my everything down here in Africa, and I held a couple of cities too. And now Casablanca is an annexed city, you will see, which means it will soon become my capital city in just about 1 day, 23 hours, 30 minutes, and 39 seconds. I will have a new capital in Casablanca. One of my favorite movies, I might add. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie Casablanca. It was a date night movie that I watched with my then girlfriend in college every year. We would watch it for our anniversary, and it was a great movie. Being the smarmy douchebag college boy I was at the time. This is my new mug, by the way, from my vacation. It says, you can't see what it says. It says, Adventure awaits, and it is from the. Oh, I should probably give you the full screen effect. Bam. It says Adventure awaits, and it is from the Garden of the Gods. We were in Colorado, Garden of the Gods, and I tell you guys, nothing. I don't give a damn where you've been or what you've done. Nothing prepares you for that sight, that image. Anyway, um, being the smarmy college kid that I was, I thought, watching a movie with my girlfriend that was generally romantic, but also had the message like, we'll have the good times we had now, but you need to get on this train and get on this plane and go live your life and be somebody and do something else without my bad news in your life. I thought that was like, clever. I married that girl. She was a much better person than I was. And she is helping me be a better person every day, which is one of the reasons I love her so very much. Any hoodles. Enough of that. I'll get sappy about my lovely wife some other time. Right now, what I need to talk about is what we're doing here in. This is how I'm going to salvage this, right? So, this Eurasian coalition, the Eurasian Pact, that has basically wiped us completely out. I'm the last person in my alliance. Germany still has a few rump provinces that they control. France still has a few rump provinces that they control. Uh, Romania is still on the map somewhere. A couple of provinces that they control. I'm not sure where Romania is. Probably, I don't have the slightest idea where Romania still exists. Let's look. Shall we? We shall. Let's look for Romania. Romania. The United States still exists. They went inactive and fell out of the coalition. For some reason, okay, I thought Ukraine still existed. They're gone. Turkmenistan still exists somehow. Romania has 2 victory points still. Where are they located? Is it here? The Bosphorus? Australia. Oh, gee. They just got reamed. How? Anyway, doesn't matter. Surely it's like an island that he controls somewhere. Some dumb island group that they didn't take somehow. So here's what's going to be the challenge. Well, let me tell you, this is my plan. There it is. That's Romania. Nope, that's Australia still. There's somewhere over here. They control like 2 provinces or something. It doesn't help that Australia and Indonesia have. Oh no, it's all Indonesia. It'll turn up. Not worried about it. Not terribly worried about it. But I do remember. Is that it? No, that's China. That's China. God, they just fucked this all up so badly. That's another risk you run playing the game. You may end up tied into an alliance with people who just aren't as good at the game as other people. But that's fine. That's no problem. Okay, so here's what the plan's going to be. I'm going to rebuild as hard and as fast and as quickly as I can. Yeah, Indonesia is over here on my eastern front, and that's going to be a problem because they are almost certainly uh, they certainly are stronger militarily than I am. They have a bigger economy, stronger military. They'll be able to outflank me and outmaneuver me in every possible way. My goal is to get 1,850 victory points. But here's the thing: if I can focus my energies up on rebuilding this base, building two cruisers, two cruisers, and an infantry unit, and I can get those cruisers over here to Jakarta. If I can get them across the world into Jakarta, if I can get them across the way, if I zoom out a little bit, I'm researching cruisers right now. This is what I told. This is what I told my teammates. You get two cruisers, send them to Jakarta, bomb Jakarta, take over their capital. Their entire country will fucking collapse. Their entire country collapses, and that takes out. It doesn't completely eradicate one of their positions, but it takes out a key part of their coalition. I think their second place cuts out like 1,000 uh, victory points, 1,200 victory points. It's not going to cut them all out, but they lose their capital. They don't have a capital. Then all of their cities lose like 20 points on morale without a capital city. They lose 20 points. Um, so all these far-flung regions here that are just occupied cities, poof, gone. They lose all this. They lose that eastern or the western front here. Makes it a lot easier for me to come in and take control of Africa and continue to build. And if I'm focused and I can do what I need to do, I may be able to get my 1,800 points. I've got a steep hill to climb, steep hill to climb. I've got to stabilize my economy. I'm running a deficit on components. I'm running a deficit on fuel. I'm running a deficit everywhere. But luckily, before everything collapsed, I had a chance to build up a nice stockpile. So I could build my capital. I can conquer. There's just easy pickings for cities out here, all through here, all through Mali, all through Niger, Nigeria, Ghana. Easy pickings on cities as long as I can build up the units that I need. And I have a base in Casablanca. I can start building. I was lucky that my I'm drinking coffee today, by the way. I was lucky that my army was in Africa when everything went to shit, which allowed me to uh, uh, maintain my base of operations and uh, maintain my force. So I was already at war with Morocco and Libya and Algeria. So now I was able to just regroup over here on the left side of the map, hold the cities that I need to hold. Once we're done, I'll be able to regroup again, build up my stack. I've got my commander, and you know, I'm digging out of a deep hole. I'm digging out of a deep hole. It's not going to be easy, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And as long as there's life, there's hope. That is from Jurassic Park, I think. I don't know. Where's that from? Let me look that up. As long as there's life, there's hope. No, as long as there's hope, there's life, I think is what the quote is. As long as there's life, there's, yeah, it is. As long as there's life, there's hope. And was that Stephen Hawking? Um, who did we say? Why do we say, while there's life, there's hope? Well known expression. Why there's life is hope. As long as you're alive, there's hope your situation may improve. Naturally. Original Latin. Modaliciat vivere espace. Modaliciat vivere espace. While there's life, there's hope. And that was Houghton. Houghton Timor Umenos, The Self-Tormentor by Publius, good God, comic playwright Publius Terentius Epher, generally known as Terence to English speakers, died in 159 BC at about 30 years of age, having written 6 plays that we know of. Terence was brought to Rome by, hang on, Terence was brought to Rome from Africa as a slave by the Roman senator Terentius Lucanus, who educated him and later, impressed by his abilities, freed him. The quote comes from Heauton, 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 Timorumenos, which scholars believe to have been his second or third play. There is some debate as to whether Terence originated this play or translated it in all or part from a play of the same name by Greek playwright Menander, who died in 290 BC. So it's basically a quote from that. Sometime later, Roman orator and statesman Cicero is quoted as saying, "Egroto dumanima est, spes esse dicitur." It is said that for a sick man there is hope as long as there is life. This was translated into English by biblical scholar Richard Taverner as part of his collection of Proverbs in 1539. It also included an English naturalist, John Ray. Okay, so I thought it was from Jurassic Park, but apparently it is from much, much earlier, the Romans. It's also in Ecclesiastes, where there's life, there's hope. Ecclesiastes 9, verses 3 through 5. Stephen Hawking says, however bad life may seem, there's always hope. There's always something you can do to succeed at. Where there's life, there's hope. So there you go. I thought it was Jurassic Park. I'm sure it's in Jurassic Park. Oh no, Jurassic Park was Life Finds a Way. That's what it was. Jurassic Park was Life Finds a Way. Or some Jeff Goldblum idiom of it. Now I've got this one lone infantryman wandering all over the dadgum countryside. What I may do is go ahead and I need him to establish. Where are these guys at? Where are they pushing? He's right there. There and there. I don't need him there yet. What I need is that city. So I'm going to go ahead and take that city. And then split these guys. Nope, can't split those guys. Yeah, I can. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to split these guys. I'm going to take one of you and none of you and move you to here, so that I can then take that infantry fella and move him, continue to move him throughout the countryside. Because I need to put an end to this madness of Morocco. China will likely put an end to Morocco. See, there's still French provinces up here. China will likely put an end to Morocco and Spain, which is good. Hopefully, they will put an end to Morocco. If it was me, I wouldn't. I would leave Morocco there because it would be a hassle to me. If I were China, it would be leaving Morocco would be a hassle to whoever was playing Austria. So, and now mind you, this is day 25 on this map. I picked up Austria, which was a middle level country sandwiched between Germany, Italy, and a surprisingly powerful Polish position over here. Austria was not supposed to survive. Austria is a player position that is generally supposed to get swallowed up in the first 5 days of play. But in Austria, I took Hungary. What did I do? I took Hungary, I took Czech Republic, the Slovenian Republic. Let me kind of zoom out a little bit. I took Hungary, Czechia, Slovakia, Czechia, Hungary, Slovakia, Switzerland. Did I take Slovenia? Yeah, I did. I took Slovenia too. And then as I was consolidating over there, Ukraine attacked me, so I attacked back. Then Poland attacked me, and I attacked back. Germany, my criticism of my allies starts with Germany. They decided to be opportunistic and kind of cut into my gains against Ukraine when I wasn't asking for help. They were slow to deal with Poland, which is why I had to deal with Poland. And then when I started to attack Italy, instead of cleaning up their own mess up here in Poland, they decided to attack Italy and ignore any assistance that I may need and just try and do a land grab. If Germany was doing its job as a advanced player in the game, and that's what they were. They were a high level skilled player. 79. I think he was the highest ranked player on the map. But instead of playing like a level 79 ranked player, he was playing like a chump. It was very frustrating. France was very slow to do anything. And when he attacked Norway, Germany decided to attack Norway. And then Romania came and cut me off down here in the Balkans rather than focusing his attention east. It was all very frustrating. But as it has worked out, they're gone. I'm still standing. And I am consolidating my land down here in Africa. And the plans as it stands. Small strike force. It's going to be tricky because I know they have a navy. And it's not an inconsequential navy. I may need more than 2 cruisers. I may need 3 or 4 cruisers. But I'm going to send them out here. I'm going to take Jakarta and tear down Indonesia. Then I'm going to turn and try to do the same thing with Australia. I'm not going to be able to do anything with Russia, but I'm not really worried about Russia. Russia's just Chumpville. They're a paper tiger. Sydney is also right there. So I could kind of do the same thing with Australia, just come and pop their capital. And if I can take down Indonesia and Australia, or at least rock the foundations of Indonesia and Australia, it's going to make it very, very, very hard for them to wrap it up with 5,000 points. Because if they lose their cities, that's 20% of their point value. Yeah, that's going to be so. That's kind of my strategy. I can't take them on head on, face to face, tank for tank, dollar for dollar, economy versus economy. But I can make it really, really, really hard for them to win. And if I'm going down, well, damn it, I'm going to make them have to work. So that's kind of the plan. Now, Beijing, on the other hand, is not a coastal city. That is their capital. Beijing is not a coastal city. So it's going to be harder for me to come in and do anything to Beijing because they're off the coast. And I have to research a specific type of landing unit to be able to land on a coast that does not have a port. So that's going to be tough. I don't know how I'm going to deal with China, but I'm not worried about Russia. Not worried about Russia at all right now. because right now I am worried about the people on my border, which is Indonesia, Australia, and China. And if I can get the units that I need over the next like 5 days, so I've got to build up Casablanca so that I can build my ships that I need. I need to have the capital, then I need to build the port, because I need to build my cruisers, and I'm currently researching cruisers. So I need my naval base to be a 4, my arms industry to be a 1. So, come on, get back there. Next thing, naval base and arms industry. And I really probably should build the army base first, because that's going to then the naval base, then the arms industry, then naval base level 3. There we go. So that's my build queue. That's like 6 days worth of builds right there. Meanwhile, I'm going to be annexing all of these cities as quickly as I can. I am likely going to be dropping gold in order to annex these cities, but the strategic annexations are going to be with components. I need to annex all of them, to be quite honest. I need supplies, components, fuel, just all the way down the line. But we'll get it done. We'll get it done slowly but surely. And it's going to take me a week to 2 weeks to dig out of this hole. But hopefully, if they leave me alone and focus on the rest of the map, they need another 1,500 points. I have 49. They need 1,500 points to wrap up the game. If they focus on the rest of the map, they've got North America. Let me see where else they've got to, where the rest of the map that they've got to look at. I'm going to look over here at the news, because this will kind of tell me what is open and what is not. So they've got, oh shit, that's the United States there, I think. Let's go look at the United States and see what's going on over there. I thought they were blue. Did he get? Yep. Australia's already taken over the USA. Well, shit. Let's see where they've got land to take. South America. Bloody fucking hell. South America and Australia. All right. Well, I've got to hold out as long as I can, because my 49 points might be exactly what they need. There's easier land to take than mine, so there's that. Hopefully, they will focus on that. But also, hopefully, they are focusing a lot of their energy and units on the frontiers where they need to take land. And I should be able to, I may be able to, I might be able to slip something in their back door when they're not looking. And if I can slip something in their back door when they're not looking, I won't be able, I don't know if I'll be able to take their points away from them, which is fight to take away their land, but I may be able to force them to lose points to Rogue State and rebellions internally, and make it really hard for them to keep the points that they have. Even if I don't get them, I make it hard for them to keep their points. So there you go. That's where we stand in Europe. And the game's not over. I thought it was over last Thursday when I saw that I had been overran. I thought the game was over. My last comment to my coalition was, well, shit. But where there's life, there's hope. And we're not finished yet. So we'll come back to it in a couple of weeks and see how that goes. But in the meantime, we have Virginia. And Virginia is where things are. Virginia is where things are progressing nicely. I can say things were weird for a while. If you recall, let me look at my quick notifications. If you recall, there was a weird relationship down here with Texas and Florida. I believe, I can't confirm, but I believe, I suspect, my hunch is that Texas and Florida were the same player. Um, they had given each other right of way to pass through, and I think they were the same player. Florida has nearly been pushed off the map, or had nearly been pushed off the map. And they came back and took land in Texas while I was attacking Texas. So I pushed Florida pretty much off of the East Coast and started to attack Texas through Arkansas. And then Texas spent some money and built a bunch of tanks and was able to defend themselves a little bit, but not well. They took back a couple of their cities, but they didn't take back all of their cities. Then Louisiana jumped into the game. Nuevo Leon jumped into the game. Kansas has stayed out of it, which is smart because they're next. But I am pushing Florida off the map down here in the south. I'm waiting for a tank to arrive here in Havana so that I can run through Santa Clara and the last Floridian province down here. And then basically I'm just going to run through the rest of Cuba, jump over to Haiti and do the same. And, you know, just kind of run down the Caribbean islands because they're there. Might as well. They're not that much of a threat for anything. But then New York decided to get a little plucky, and they jumped in and they attacked me here in Maryland, and I pushed them back and took their capital, and they built the new capital, and then they attacked me again. So now I'm basically going to stomp a big, deep, sloppy mud hole in their ass because I'm sick of their shit, for a lack of a better explanation. I've got a large tank force. So while I was on vacation, I built up a huge number of resources, set to build, set a bunch of tanks to be being built. I built basically two stacks of tanks, 10 tanks. Most of them are here. I've got 7 of them. I'm sorry, here in Western Maryland, Eastern Maryland rather, and north of Virginia, south of Washington D.C. I've got this. This is the tank that's going down to Havana. I've got these tanks going over to Texas. This one turning back around to deal with. Is it this one? Yeah, this is the one that's turning around to deal with this jack off. Who fucking Louisiana. And then because Louisiana has started to push into my territory, I'm just going to go fuck Louisiana up. And while I was over here focusing on Texas, I have decided that I will now focus on Louisiana first, then this rogue state in Arkansas, and then I'm going to push Texas and Florida completely off the map. So what Texas had done is while he still had, I think San Antonio or Austin, I think it was San Antonio that he still had, he built up a bunch of tanks. And instead of sending his tanks to his cities and holding his cities, he sent his tanks all over the countryside to try and fight my units that were taking his countryside, which I thought was remarkably stupid because he ended up losing all of his cities. And then he took back a couple of his cities, and he took his tanks out of the cities that he took back. And then I went and took the cities back again. So now he has no economy, is what it boils down to. Florida, Dallas, Florida took Austin, Florida took Dallas. He has San Antonio. He has nothing. He has no capital. He has no nothing. He's done. He's finished. All he has left are a handful of tanks, and they're all scattered across the map. So I'm going to show up with my 5 tanks and my elite commander. And I'm going to crush him. Just fucking crush him off the fucking map. And then I'll solidify my borders, and then I'll start moving north in an effort to cut off California, because California is moving east and has chemical weapons. So California has emerged as the major threat to our operations in this entire map. At least a major strategic threat, even if he's not a major operational threat, because he has chemical weapons, and chemical weapons will take a city completely out of the game. So the best way to counter chemical weapons is have theater defenses, um, which I will be building in my major cities and having theater defense units in all of my major cities to prevent him from launching ballistic missiles. Not there yet. I'm still researching through my other stuff. But the next thing that I put on my list is he's using bombers right now, but I need to make sure that he's not that he can't launch missiles um, into my city. So I'm going to start building up theater defense systems and dropping them in every major city that I have operations in. Uh, um, that's annexed or homeland city. And their role is literally just going to be sit in the city and defend the city from any missile attacks that come in. Because in the last game that I played, I saw how effective it was to have, excuse me, theater defense systems against um, cruise missiles at the very least. So I can have dual defenses when it comes to air defense between uh, the mobile SAMs, which are really good against jets. Show me. Mobile SAMs, which are really good against surface air missiles, provides air cover to advancing units, really good against jets, really good against, or good against missiles, not really good against missiles, but really good against jets, good against missiles. Meanwhile, theater defense is really good against missiles and really good against missiles and good against jets. I believe the mobile anti-air, are these good against heavies? They don't really have against heavies. So I'm not so much worried. It's the SAMs and the theater defense that I'm going to have. It's kind of a uh, dual air defense there. The multiple rocket launcher is not good against aircraft at all. Um, it is useless against aircraft. But so as I continue to progress north on the map and prepare to fight against California, I may send him a cordial message stating simply that uh, there's no reason, like I said with Virginia in the last game, like there's no reason for this to get heated between the two of us. You have your space, I have my space. I'm going to win this game. If you try to cut me off, I will make sure that you don't. I'll make sure that you don't even make it to the end because I will have the power to do that. Because I will also be building up bombers and all the other cool stuff. So we are steadily moving north, taking down New York. I have this little expeditionary unit over here. He has a force in Philadelphia and New York City. His capital is over here in Syracuse. I'll be taking that. I'll be focusing a lot of my efforts over here in the east, where there are cities, and I will be working to take and hold them. Pennsylvania is just about done for. I'll go ahead and wipe them off the map while I'm, in a act of mercy. In an act of mercy, I will happily, kindly take them down. But because he has units in New York and Philadelphia, I couldn't take those with this little expeditionary force. But this little expeditionary force will take Harrisburg, meet up with my tanks here. At some point, meet up with the tanks, and then we'll just wrap up the rest of New York. I should probably split this into two groups, but I'm not 100% sure where he has the rest of his units. But these two guys should be able to clean up the countryside, and then I could just use the tanks to take out the cities. Anyway, there's a lot less. The real exciting strategic buildup on this one is the coming fight with California. Because right now, I've built the machine to handle the consolidation process. The machine is going to do its work. As we look at the map as it's laid out in front of us, the machine will do its work. They have whoever, whether it's a human person or the AI working in Louisiana. Goodness gracious, they have built up their infantry and recon vehicles to the max level, or nearly the max level that they can build it up to. I have stronger units. I'll take them out, wipe them out. Texas has tanks. I'll be able to take down those tanks with my tanks. I have more firepower than they have. I don't have better firepower, but I have more firepower. And then, as I consolidate from the East Coast over to the Arizona border and establish that central border, I'll take down Nuevo Leon because they declared war on me. I'll take them down too. Then, as I establish and stabilize that western border, probably all the way down to, let me see where Nuevo Leon goes to. They've got Chihuahua as California. So if I wanted to be real cheeky about it, I could cut California off. Uh, I could cut California off at Mexico, and they would have their defined region where they could go. Uh, that would be this would be their easternmost and southernmost extent that they could get to, and I might just do that. I might just do that. Um, but as the strategy is going to lay out, the coming war between me and likely California and Arizona. Arizona and California are allied. So the coming war between the two of us is going to be him with his weapons of mass destruction and long distance delivery devices versus me with my defenses that will hopefully counter that. The intent will be to have my defenses that will counter his long distance delivery devices and hopefully my superior ground forces. I don't think I'll have to actually take his territory. Just like in the last scenario that I played on this map, I should have enough land up here with Quebec, Ontario, North Dakota, South Dakota, etc., to be able to get my 1,700 victory points without actually invading him and taking his land. However, that also depends a little bit on what Arizona and New Mexico does. Because if they push too much further into Kansas, I may have to come to blows with those guys. And I know that California is active. I also know that California has chemical weapons. The reason being, when a country starts their chemical weapons program, it says so in the newspaper. Did I get the right day? Day 17 is probably the day that I'm looking for. That occurred to me. I don't think I introduced myself today. I am the Old Humble Guy. Thanks for tuning in. This is our Old Humble game night, game day, just about an hour worth of happy hour time, where I take my, there it is, California has initiated their chemical weapons program. I don't like that idea. I don't like that plan at all. I don't like this plan at all because if they're moving up the tech tree towards chemical weapons and then nuclear weapons, they're just one step away from ballistics, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But we'll deal with that in time. We are playing Conflict of Nations, which is a strategy game, as you can see, world-based strategy map that involves the economic, military, and strategic gameplay all at the same time. Let's look and see what California has by way of cities. We've got homeland, occupied, 2 homeland, 3, 4, 5, 6, annexed, 7. Seven cities so far. I think they start out with 7. 8 with Eureka, back to Reading. Is it Reading or Reading? It's Reading. R-E-D-D. It's Reading. So they've annexed one city. That's important to know. If they're an annexing player, they're a player that annexes cities. They're a player that needs to be watched. Of course, he's. I've got some experience behind me, and hopefully, I will be able to deal with him nicely, handily. This jackass is just continuing. He doesn't seem to understand his place. I'm gonna fuck him up so badly. But here's how we're dealing with Louisiana right now. I've got him. This is my guy. This is his guy. I've got him. Come on, show me what he's got. He's got 2 recon battalions here. See, he's got him. He's leveling them up as high as he can level them up. That's a level 4. My recon battalion is only a level 2. But I've got the firepower on him. My attack is 18 and 8.9, and defense is 22 and 11. His defense is 10 and 5, and his attack is only 10 and 5. So I've got him. I've got him where I want him. When I add in my armor, back, I'm going to send the first armor unit to back these guys up. So I've got 3 armor units coming, 4 really. Once they come into, I've got this silky deep voice right now because my throat's a little scratchy after vacation. But yeah, I'm gonna throw a couple of these guys in there to help just wrap this whole mess up. So tired of Louisiana bumping around, acting like he belongs on the damn map. Ugh, so annoying. I mean, he was on my list of people to knock out, but it's just when the AI starts doing this shit where they have like 1 unit and they just go and they maraud across your damn countryside, and it takes 3 days to respond to it because you've got to build up your units. And my next set of units is going to be another set of tanks that come out, but it's going to be well, this one starts in 14 minutes, and then it's going to be a day. And this one starts in 9 hours, and this one starts in 19 hours. So it's basically every 8.5 hours. I'm building a new tank, but damn, it takes forever. And as I add new cities, oh, good, all my all my stuff is done building. It's great. As I add new cities and new production, that all gets updated every 24 hours. So I need more components to build. Havana, first off, Havana needs to build, stop it, needs to build a level 1 arms industry, get that going. You. Then we need to go from Havana all the way up to Norfolk, build the level 2s. Bam. So that should get them all going. We don't have the resources just yet, apparently. Do we? I don't know. Let me move it up and see. This is like the most tedious part of this game is managing your build queue. I wish there was an easier way to like resort everything. My bird is talking in the other room. He's loud. He's got opinions. Yep, we do have the resources for it. Good. Let's get these guys going. If we can get these guys built. I mean, I can wait on the tanks. The tanks are not critical right now. But what is critical is getting the production on our components up. because, oh wait, Havana needs to wait. You need to wait. You need to put Havana in the last, at the end of the list, because that is a 3-day wait for that build, because Havana is already building the level 1, and I don't need to have that getting in the way of everything else. Okay. Boop. There we go. Hampton has been conquered from New York. Good. So yeah, we just got back from vacation. It was a long 9-day road trip to Colorado, which is one of the reasons why my throat is scratchy, because we were up in the mountains, and that cool, dry air in the mountains, coupled with the moist, hot air down here, has just made my throat a little scratchy. With the adjustment. Okay, Atlanta is 1 hour away. Good. But I need to get these guys built. I need to get the queue updated with these guys, because I need these guys going into production as fast as I can. Because what happens is the resource production algorithm updates. This is every 2 hours. It updates every 24 hours. So I need these guys in production and completed as quickly as I can, so that by the end of the day tomorrow, their new production is reflected in my economic totals. And I need components. I need components like a fat kid needs cake, like a baby needs blanket, like a desert needs water, like I don't know, like a shark needs water, like a shark needs tuna. Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. I need this. I need these components so bad, because that is what's holding up everything. Everything is slow because of components, and there'll be another choke point that comes. Right now, it's components. The next thing will be fuel or uh, rare elements. In the early part of the game, it's usually manpower or money. Um, but we deal with the choke points as they come, and I try to anticipate the choke points. But when you start getting into the advanced weaponry, you build the economy for the army that you have, or the army that you need, or to address your current needs. You don't build the economy to address the needs for 15, 20 turns from now. 15 or 20 turns from now, you build a new need for new economy, and you continue to build the economy around those needs. I mean, it would be stupid for me to build an economy around nuclear weapons now when I don't have nuclear weapons. Right? Right. I mean, eventually I will possibly have nuclear weapons, and then we'll have the need for all the stuff that goes into having nuclear weapons and needing nuclear weapons. But it would be ridiculous to. Then let's go with arms industry level 2, and that will be the last one on the list. Yep, number 15. Good. It would be ridiculous to forego the ability to build tanks today, because I'm anticipating building nuclear weapons in 20 days. It would just be silly. So that's where we stand. That's where I stand, at least. And on this hill, I stand. On this hill, I shall die. Okay, so next steps, next things that we got going on in this particular scenario, this particular game. Let's zoom back out. Let's look at the map. I am going to. I have a force coming in here to deal with Louisiana. This amount of firepower should be able to run right through their cities and their provinces. And by the time I get to By the time they get to anywhere critical over here or over here, I should have a second force freed up and uh, uh, going back to meet the units that I've got in the west. So I should have a second force in the east coming back to meet them in the west. I've got this expeditionary force over here in New York dealing with the Northeast and New York. And in the next, I want to say 3 days, I should have New York wrapped up, maybe 5 days. I should have New York wrapped up. So if I come back next, fucking day is it? Today is Thursday. If I come back next Thursday, I should be able to have New York wrapped up and be pushing against Ohio, I think, or I'll either be pushing against Ohio or north into Maine and New Brunswick. I'm not sure which direction I'm going to go. I'm going to let the map tell me. If Ohio decides to declare war, I'll go against Ohio. If Maine declares war, I'll go against Maine. If neither of them declare war, I'll flip a coin and see which way I'm going. We'll see. Cuba should be wrapped up or very nearly wrapped up, and I should be working on Haiti by this time next week. Louisiana will not be wrapped up by this time next week, but I should have everything. I should have them wrapped up west of the Mississippi. So they'll effectively be neutralized. It'll just be cleaning up this remaining mess that I have with Louisiana on the east side of the Mississippi. And definitely by this time next week, I will have another stack of tanks moving west if they have not already moved west. And that'll be neutralizing all of this along the coast and all of this along the river. And then we will wrap up and complete the Texas campaign and the Florida campaign. And then and that's what we'll probably start next week, wrapping up the mess that is Texas and Florida, which is both in the game and in real life. See what I did there? And once we wrap that up, we will begin moving north around Arizona and New Mexico, because I have no animus towards New Mexico and Arizona. I have no animus towards these guys. We are at peace. We shall remain at peace. And I will simply start moving north and establish my western border with them. And if Arizona has a problem with that, then Arizona can take it up with Colorado. They can take it up with Montana. They can take it up with Iowa. They can take it up with whomever they want. But the Commonwealth of Virginia does not have a suggestion box. And if you do not like your customer service that you are receiving right now, we will be happy to send a representative out to meet with you and explain to you exactly why you're wrong, while we take over your capital and all your cities and address your concerns in the most expeditious way that we know how. But that's it for me today, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. We are, that's where we stand, and that's where we're going to go from here. We've got a few strategic issues. Like I said, in the Austrian campaign, we're not dead yet. That game's not over. It's going to be very interesting to see how it shakes out over the next several days. If I can pull off the strategy that I'm trying to pull off in China, or against China and Indonesia, it's going to take several days to build the naval capacity that I need to be able to do that. We'll just have to see if we get lucky. We'll have to see if we get lucky. We'll have to see if we can do it. I don't know. I honest to God don't know. But I do hope, I do think, I do expect that I will survive until the last day in that campaign. I think when the victory conditions are finally met by whomever meets them, they need 1,500 points. 1,500 points or so to close out that game. The vast majority of those points will be gotten in South America, not Africa. So hopefully they'll be focusing their efforts on South Africa, or South America rather, and hopefully I will have I will have the time that I need to gather up a whole set of monkey wrenches and throw them into all of the various orifices that they have for monkey wrenches to be thrown into. On this map, it's a much less exciting route to end game, where I am going to consolidate the center part and start just harvesting points from the Central Plains and the North. You know, it was very amicable in the last game that I played when I was California and they were Virginia. As Virginia, I have already staked out a claim east or west of the Mississippi. And he has already gotten chemical weapons, so I don't know how amicable I want this to remain. I'm kind of in the driver's seat on this one, and we will see. I like being in the driver's seat because I can kind of choose the path that I want this game to go. But I'm going to need to build a lot of stuff real fast in order to really push on the map and really push for harvest out my points. If he's moving up the ballistic missile scales, if he's moving up the ballistic missile tree, I need to be ready for that. And that's going to be just a little bit of tech, just a little bit of hardware strategically placed to make sure that he can't put his stuff where I need it to not be. But there you go. I'll be back in a week, if not sooner. I may do a late night where I just run this for 6 hours, and we'll just, I'll put in the orders and we'll let the game play out over the course of a half a night. Sometime this weekend, maybe Sunday. We'll see. We have stuff going on here at the house too. So that's it for night. I'm going to do my work. I've got scheduling that I need to get done. I have equipment coming in. I'm going to get my stuff done, and I'm going to go to work. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, thanks for stopping in. Don't forget to subscribe to, let me put is this the one I need for subscribe? That's our quarantine happy hour. Nah, I'm not going to do that one. Is this the one I need to subscribe? Is that it? Live from StreamYard? Yeah, we're live now. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck it. Just subscribe to the channel. It's right down there below. Hit subscribe. Like the video. Hit subscribe. Leave a comment. Do all the things you're supposed to do. I sell whiskey. I don't want to tell you what to do. There's my logo. Boop. Cheers. We'll see you next time. Should probably put the title page up too. Cheers. See you next time.